Willkommen später.
Verstanden?
Bitte, ja.
Ist jetzt an?
Guten Morgen, liebe Zuschauer.
Und Zuschauerinnen.
So, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome this morning from the mixed doubles live from Bern. We're broadcasting this morning the quarterfinal between the Swiss team of Reto and Michel Gribi versus the Korean team of Yang and Kyung-Lee. The winner will advance to the semi-final and will still be in play. Of course, 4 quarterfinals going on at the very moment. And besides the quarterfinals, all 8 sheets are taken. Also, the Consolation Cup plays another round this morning.
Sorry. No problem.
You
You have time.
Turn off the mic.
On.
Oh.
On, yeah.
So I'm certain they will get us underway shortly.
Reto.
So there we go, first rock off the game. The Swiss team with the hammer.
13-6.
Ja, Anjo. Go do the Michi, go do the, go, 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 go.
Has, of course, last rock advantage.
Welche Seite willst du lieber? Können wir da?
Nein, du musst ja da.
Nein, wenn wir nicht Shot ziehen, können wir gut hin.
Wir sind nicht Schott.
Aber ja.
Aber ihr nur vorne 4, oder?
Ja.
Sie ist 13-6 gekommen. Sechs ist Backline.
Oh.
Hing 8.
Oh, wechseln, wechseln. Platz.
So, first rock from the Korean team, a little bit long, so creates a nice pocket. But Reto Gribi doesn't manage to quite get on to the inside of that. And removes the rock from play, which of course you cannot do until the 4th rock of an end.
Just put it where you want.
So it will be replaced. Of course, it will be the non-offending tip.
Maar ik glaube schon gelegen.
Sorry.
Ganz sicher.
That will be able to place the rock.
3,66, sorry.
13,66.
3,66. Split. Ich habe gemeint, er bremst noch, sonst hätte man einen schräger müssen nehmen.
Ja, ja, gemeint alles lang. Schon gut.
Ich gebe es eher ein bisschen auf ihren Reto.
And also this one not curling enough, still hanging out there a little bit. So now of course it's the fourth rock of the end, so Michel Gribi could be removing rocks from play now.
Wie lange willst du? 8. Komm mit, go! Jump! Jump! Hi! Hi! Go away! Go, go.
Michel Gribi on it all the way, but doesn't quite manage to hold it. Just clears out one of those. Still leaving the pocket. Now it's really just a race to the bottom at the very moment. Whoever can come around the center court nicely first will be in the driver's seat for the rest of the end. At the moment, of course, the Swiss team lying shot at the back of the forefoot.
Ich sage, es sind 13-4, dann bleibt er sofort draussen. Also kommt viel zu spät.
Ja. Unsere Seite haben wir immer noch schön offen.
Könnte auch noch ein Mühe härter sein. Wir haben nichts drüber gespielt.
This one is curling in nicely, but will it make it weight-wise? It looks like it's just not in short position, but never mind that, it's quite a good rock. Certainly puts on some pressure.
Kannst du höchstens tappen und rausgehen, oder?
Hä?
Kannst du höchstens tappen und gegen rausgehen?
Ja, scheiße, wenn ich nicht
Gehen wir hinten dran. Nur vorne 4, das ist nicht spät, oder?
Ja. Gut.
Das wäre ein Schuss 8.
Ja.
Und so 13, 8, 14, 0.
14 darf schon.
Okay.
So if I understand it correctly, they're trying to get around the whole thing to block the tap back. Yes, they're coming around on the outer side.
Wie gang sie? Viel Platz.
Musst du auch helfen?
Viel Platz.
Really looking to tuck a piece, really. If you get around the center guard in this position, that would be perfect, but this is hanging out wide. They might make it to the forefoot, but this would have needed to be on a far more narrow line.
Bremsen schon noch ein bisschen runter.
Ja.
So now, same shot called basically for
Wenn du einfach von Anfang an von dieser Seite nimmst, hast du je nachdem schon.
Young and Lee. We'll be trying to get through that port if they ever manage that. That's quite a good position because the rock will most likely be locked in between.
Oder direkt? Je nachdem. Wenn wir direkt gehen, sind wir dran. Das ist ein schöner Job.
Now correcting the original ice they were giving. Have to be careful there.
Yeah.
Can't be too far out as it doesn't curl too much from the inside. To the inside. Now you can see the sweeper switching sides to get some more curl out of it. The curl would have been fine, I think, but weight-wise they're again on the light side. Now you really have two options, either play the tap or play the takeout in the middle.
Nein, den würde ich nicht. Ich habe mir noch geschaut, was er für Optionen hat.
Ja, ja. Also er hat Optionen.
Ja, ja. Aber ich muss er auch noch zuerst richtig nehmen.
Am geilsten fände ich gerade schießen, gerade stossen, das Vierfuss. Das wäre super. Gell?
Was?
Gerade stossen.
Ja, aber ich nehme ihn
ganz wenig aussen dürfen wir.
lieber ein zu viel, dass er sicher von außen ist und nicht gegen innen.
Ja. Gut.
So they're debating how to tap this one back. Go straight back would be perfect, Gribi-Gribi says. I think you can have a little bit of an angle to the center. Most importantly, you have to be at least second shot, I would think. But no matter what you do, in these very situations, there will always be an opening there.
Ja, ja, wow, nog maar Lengi.
Brucht.
Zie je? Ah! Go, go, go.
And hard on it. It looks really good line-wise.
Okay.
And the tap was there, but just missing a couple of inches or 2 feet maybe, and it would have been perfect.
Sorry. War nicht genug schnell, ja? Jetzt habe ich auch schneller gekostet, aber...
So, and it's
Hast du gleich noch?
down to last rocks again,
Nein, der ist...
or already, one could say.
Das hat mich eingestellt, hä?
Of course, mixed double famous for its pace. I mean, an end is over so quickly, as only 5 rocks are being played per end, with one positioned one at the start of each end. And there might actually be a chance to get rid of all those yellows at once, but I'm not sure. You might also stick around with at least one. Ooh, and that's unlucky. Takes away the tap though, or makes it certainly more difficult.
Wat er wel is.
So they're going from the approach from the right side, which is probably smart. It's probably smart, as we can see there is no way they're going to push in the red, as if you would play from the intern side. There would be a possibility of giving away a steal. Playing the tap probably feels more natural. Gribi also said he felt more comfortable with it. So try to get a piece of the forefoot with this tapped back yellow. Oh, that needs to curl. Goes by everything and will not sit in time. And that's a single only. Single only for the Swiss team. Would have loved to score a second there. I mean, the rock was not badly played, really. It just didn't curl up enough for them. A couple of inches more a curl and they would have been fine. The weight was very close, I would think.
Wollt ihr 4:8 spielen?
14,5.
Hä?
14,5.
Ja.
Schnell kaufen noch.
Länge ist
Das
gut.
nicht schlecht, Länge.
Richtig ist sehr gut. Oh, nochmal Länge.
Braucht! Länge
Ja,
ist
ja.
nicht schlecht, 4!
Ja! Nochmal Länge, ich kann gerne. Oh, 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 oh.
Also.
So again, maybe a foot too long. You really want to make sure that in this situation you go get right to the top of the button, really. It's the way you can apply the most pressure in. Now this needs to curl as well. But well done, gets to the inside of this yellow one, so has a nice angle there.
Also auf der gleichen Seite. Ich kann doch ein bisschen übergörlen, wäre nicht schlecht.
Kannst beides?
Really cutting down the space for Team Gribi.
Ja, wenn wir einfach ein bisschen auftun, ist auch gut.
Trying to chase it down there. Maybe curl even a little bit more, get to the inside of that. If you can tap it an inch whilst hitting on the inside, that would be perfect. Now this needs to curl a little more. It looks really good, looks really good. Gets to the inside, tap it an inch. Well done.
Sehr schön, Reto. Gut. Super Länge.
So now Koreans would like to try and freeze to the corner of that.
Die letzten 10 Meter kommen sie schon noch. Nein, ein bisschen weniger.
Ja, dann können sie am Anfang ein bisschen haben, wenn wir ein bisschen mutiger sind. Das ist, wenn es so eine Länge gut ist, dann alles ist schnell. Es ist ein bisschen länger.
Dann bammt er vollkommen blöd auf, ja. Willst du spielen?
Nur tappen, ja.
Aber weißt du, der liegt nicht uns dort offen.
Nein,
Der liegt der Doppel.
so tappen.
Okay, finde gut. Da hat er einfach immer halt. Ja. Kannst du zuerst jetzt noch eine Stoche? Von dieser Seite kann er im Moment nichts machen.
Da frisst ist schon gut. Wir müssen schauen, was wir mal rein. Lass noch eine stehen. Können wir eigentlich schon, ja. Da bist du.
Also im Moment macht er keinen zweiten.
Ja. Ich habe sie einfach schnell draussen, die zwei Gelben da.
Kommst du da?
Nein, genau gleich. Nein, genau gleich.
Da?
Yeah, I think what Gribi-Gribi says here is very true. Those two yellows are very quickly gone. Doesn't take much, especially once the center guard has been moved. The yellows are lined up to leave at once, and then you're really lying against, or have to draw against a couple.
Ist gut. Vorne 4.
Ja. Linie gut. Schauen. Wechseln, wenn es geht. Atmen, wenn es geht. Schauen. Wow, wenn es geht. Sind noch gar nicht. Oh.
Ari. Gut. Ein bisschen schneller gewesen als der Rest.
Verdammt gefährlich. Der Gelb ist nur scheiße. Die drei bringst du auch raus.
Das ist mir auch gut aufgefallen.
So here we have an overview over all the games that are
Ja, macht's gerne.
currently on in the rink.
Das passiert zum Beispiel im Ausland.
So the middle four, the ones on sheets 3 to 6, are the quarterfinals, and the one on the edges are the road games.
Hat sich also dreimal
If you want live updates in real time, you can get those on the website curlingbern.ch. There's a really nice tap back there.
Da geht der hier und der drückt so drüber, oder nicht? Wenn du noch ein bisschen ankommst, ist es nicht so schlimm.
Vielleicht bleibt er dort irgendwann. Aber das ist mal zwei da. Ja, gut.
It's now all a question of angles. You can certainly get some reds moving.
Aber der hier ist nicht.
Die zwei bleiben da. Die bringst du nie nachher.
So if you try and play a takeout, it's going to be very difficult, because there will always be, I would think, two reds sticking around in the forefoot.
Bringt darum dann nichts, wenn nur der weg ist und er uns hier auch noch fort.
Ja. Also, wirst du nicht.
Wenn du nur den machst, ist es auch ein bisschen...
Komm, wir schießen.
Auf den Run?
Ja.
Musst du einen Run machen?
Ja, nein, direkt.
So now they're deciding to play not the run back, as one could think. I think what they're trying to do is hit
Finde ich gut.
the right hand side red
Ja, wir müssen knapp durch.
with some weight.
Ich sehe nicht so viel, wir müssen knapp durch.
This will certainly,
So fort drüber, wenn der ist wirklich
you can only hit like so much of it, there is not much open. But if you hit what you can see, you will certainly move the one that's on the same level out of the forefoot minimum. If you might even get to remove it, and then you'll spin back. But I am not sure that will work out very well. Or they are playing the run now, or not. because they were trying but didn't quite work. I think they weren't quite sure what rock to play there, and they weren't certain what was going to happen in either scenario, so it's quite difficult with those kind of angles. So what do you do now? You want to preserve as many of your rocks.
Für den Gelb schon fort.
Dann kann es ein bisschen Platz geben. Aber ich glaube, sie tappen nur dort, oder?
Ich bin nicht ganz rausgekommen.
Und umgelaufen,
Gut, wir haben keinen Stein gehabt, aber wirklich nicht wollen. Gut, der Vierer da, bringst du nicht weg, ohne dass es 2 Uhr mitgeht.
Ja. Aber wenn sie jetzt ein bisschen tappt.
Dann sind sie 3.
Ja. Aber öffentlich gibt es unsere Chance nicht.
Das ist auch noch weit draussen.
Ja, das ist vor allem schön.
This is hanging out a little bit as well. Do you think they wanted to hit a little more of that? So now, what is there to do for the Swiss team?
Kannst du den wenigstens nehmen und hier raus? Und der ist schon drauf. Wenn es dann hier reindrückt. Gut, 2 können wir verkraften. Wenn ich ihn hier treffe, kann ich ihn dann rausspielen. Dann ist der weg.
It's really about cutting the damage right now. There's so many reds lying in the forefoot. You just don't want to give up more than 2 in this very situation. You can live with 2.
Der bleibt ja immer irgendwann da. Und wenn wir nur da sind, der spinnt es zwar ein bisschen rein noch, vielleicht daher. Aber wir sind irgendwann hier. Die Frage, vielleicht liegt gerade der Top, wo wir Blech haben.
Yes, the angles certainly are in the favor of the Korean team.
Der bleibt wahrscheinlich da drauf, der geht. Und wir machen den, schauen wir da. Dann ist der da besser, der da ist besser.
Dann sind wir auf dem 3er.
Ja. Im Moment bin ich noch happy mit dem 3er.
Schau schon den machen. Nimmst sicher den und den.
Ja, aber sie hat mit hier drin schießen. Tak. Der hier, wenn wir Glück haben, spinnt es den mehr raus. Und dann gut brechen.
Wahrscheinlich, wenn wir den an die Nase nehmen.
Dann müssen sie den auch zuerst mal rausnehmen. Ich denke, der ist gar nicht so schlecht.
Yeah, I like the call Reto Gribi is talking about right now.
Wenn er da drüber wascht, bleibt der immer.
Hit it a little bit, the center one a little bit on the inside. Maybe push even the one at the top edge of the forefoot and sit right where his broom is right now.
Mit dem 6er, der 5er, wenn wir genug Kraft haben, kannst du ihn rausspinnen. Den haben wir noch. Der ist weg. Der 6er ist noch da, der 8er stresst mich nicht. Das sind wir irgendwann hier.
Dann nimmst du sehr wahrscheinlich keinen einzigen roten raus. Ausser den.
Den nimmst du raus und den kannst du auch rausdrücken.
Ja, aber rausdrücken bringt nichts.
Dann legen wir hier. Der hier ist da hinten.
Okay.
Komm ein bisschen raus. Eventuell kommst du gar nicht raus. Nur einen gelben Bereich.
Ich bin da dran.
Ja. Ist gut.
So we will be seeing some heat brought by Michel Gribi. Trying to save something there.
Wie schnell? Wie schnell?
7. Du musst eigentlich schön dem hier durch. Das ist gut. Ziemlich genau die Centerline brechen.
Meinst du Scarlett hier?
Ja.
So heavyweight takeout called. Big push there, big extension. Needs to curl up a little bit. Quite close. Not bad. There is still two reds shot. But I think that was probably as good as he can get for the Swiss team. Now there is a chance to draw for a third, but beware. Have to be very careful here not to push in that yellow. Even if they do, the chances are very slim that it will take something away from them. Not much room to work with, so I think mission accomplished for Michel Gribi there by juggling those rocks a little bit. Now they're giving quite a decent amount of ice. See if that curls up. Have been caught out wide a couple of times now.
Hey, wir müssen nachher vorwärts machen.
Hey, machst du auch 4 Stunden durchspielen? Bin noch jung.
Hard sweep there. Will it be enough? Well, still needs to curl about a foot. And comes up short as well. So that's 2 for red. To add up to the score 2-1 for the Korean team here on this Sunday morning in Bern, playing the mixed doubles tournament. Triple knockout, 32 teams. Big event, whole rink is filled still on Sunday morning. So and there you can see the rocks being set up. Back forward for the team with hammer. Center guard for the team without. And the first camera round already underway. Does certainly not look too short here. Nothing from the sweeper. Curls in nicely though. Very good line. Taps back a little bit. Now leaves, of course, space for another rock. So there is a good chance, and Reto Gribi is indicating the ice conditions. He's talking about the speed, so 14.5 is what they're calling for this shot here. This looks really nice. Well done there. Good eye from the sweeper as well.
Die können wir brauchen. Wieder 84. Ich weiß nicht, ob meine Stoppel kaputt ist. Ich glaube, noch kein anderes verrutscht. Du bist einfach eine Maschine, gell?
Die habe ich einfach.
Sehr schön, Michi. Weiter so.
Schön. war 15:6.
Habe ich auch gehabt, ja. Mitte 8.
Sorry?
Mitte 8.
Ja,
Ja, das ist auch nicht so viel, hä?
bin ich
Ich
gut.
kann ja den Tanz kürzen mit
Er
8.
darf ja auch vor 8 sein, ist ein bisschen halb versteckt, oder?
Ja, muss echt versteckt sein.
Ja. Das sieht echt gut. Es ist auch eher Overteam im Moment.
Okay. Dranbleiben.
Team!
Tipp, wow. Tipp, wow.
Länge hoch, hinten 8!
Okay, dranbleiben aber. Achtung, Tipp! Wow, Tipp!
Hinten 4!
Oh, and this does not quite work out for them. The line was perfect, but it just was 2 feet too heavy. It's now fairly easy to get to the inside of the right-hand side yellow, and if you ever get to that point, you can basically roll behind cover and be completely tucked in on the button. Great position to be in if you want to steal.
What? Er hat vor allem ewig bis er gespielt hat.
Wir brauchen das. Das ist echt nicht so viel rausgesehen, muss ich sagen.
And again, this is a bit far out.
13,
Has to curl up big time. Oh, now it's cutting in, but will it be enough? Just manages to get to the nose. A little bit across, but a little bit of a missed chance there. But then again, it doesn't give
Wenn er echt da hat, ist er
the
nicht.
Swiss team a lot of space to work with either.
Gut, er hat auch noch
finde ich
den,
gut.
hä? Ja gut, der geht nicht so gut. Haben wir noch eins so drin?
Da?
Ja.
Ja, finde ich sehr gut.
So they're gonna try again.
Ich finde es super.
Maybe
ja.
you would like to tap back your own a little bit.
Tappen dürfen wir, oder?
Ja, wenn der Rot innen kannst, dann kannst du schon tappen. Wenn der Gelb, der hinten dran liegt, ist eh weg. Den können wir nie mehr
Wenn
schreiben.
wir Minimum gerade tappen, ist auch okay, oder?
Ja.
Yeah, I think you want to tap in this situation just to get some separation in there so you have some space
Optimal
to eventually remove the red that is now lying top forefoot. And that's really all what mixed doubles is about, space.
Ist kürzer als vorher. Ist nur die.
Oh, oh.
Nein, ist gut,
Ah,
hinten
nicht,
4.
ist länger, wow.
Hinten 4, hinten. Ja,
Wow.
hinten 4.
Wechseln, Mischi, warte noch.
Called
warte
back
noch.
4, sounds really good. Needs to curl up a little bit.
Gürle. Ja!
It's curling now, that looks really good. Will the weight be enough?
Schön.
Very good.
Gut.
Bit difficult to see who is shot rock there.
Nimmst du das sich noch raus?
Ja.
Nimmst du das noch raus? Das ist nervig. Verkauft er uns jetzt. Hoffen wir es mal.
Ist jetzt nicht sogar. Jetzt gar nicht genug.
Also, der, was ich jetzt habe.
Weiß ich über ein Gelb oder über ein Rot?
Rot. Rot
Mit
auf den
drin.
Vierer, dann rüber auf den Siebter. Oder noch reinwicken, können sie auch machen. Und wenn sie nur einwicken.
Ich schaue nach bis 5.
Sind wir mal gespannt. Da sicher. von meinem nicht schauen. Ja. Nächste Pause nur über 30. Nein, uns gelassen. Was ist für so?
Finde ich gut, ja. Ist zwar immer noch hier, aber...
Ist immer noch hier, aber vielleicht lenkt der da. Und vor allem
Gut.
der lenkt nicht.
Da siehst du zwar gar nicht so viel im Fall.
Das lenkt aber. Nur Streif.
Da siehst du auch ein
Still
Drittel.
quite a tricky situation as the red one looks like it's very much locked in. There, you don't have much space to move it.
Schau schnell auf dem Heck an.
Okay.
Schau aus dem Heck an. Du dann vor drüber gehst, wäre offen, wenn er nicht optimal hinten drauf geht.
Jetzt, das ist nicht optimal. Jetzt. Frage, wenn wir den roten Karten vor 12 bekommen.
So, and of course, as always, if you
So schlimm.
have any questions or remarks about the broadcast, about the game, about mixed doubles as a discipline, which has now been also accepted in the Olympic Games, so even more curling in the Olympics, please do write us a message here in the live chat. We'll be happy to answer as quickly as we can. So big weight being played by Gribi-Gribi, but only manages to remove this one center guard. Opens up things a little bit, but doesn't change much at the situation in the house right now. It looks very likely to be a steal there. I think you could be thinking about replacing the corner guard. I mean, if you're in the Korean's position, I mean the situation in the house looks very good. Your shot stone is not really moving very far, no matter what you play. And even if you might not even lose shot position. So I think covering it all up might actually be the way to go here. And if you keep doing that till the end of the end, you'll be in great shape for a steal.
Das Problem ist auch, wenn du probierst und es voll nimmst und und aber über einen Fünfer geht nicht. Sie machen den Guard hier.
And yeah, of course, this already being the last Korean rock for this end. I think nicely done. Perfect positioning, exactly the replacement of the center guard we had before.
Muss ja nicht ganz, haben wir schon mal so viel bewegen, aber schon.
Nein, das Gefühl bleibst immer da.
Nein, ich meine wirklich nur Streifen.
Ja, eben. Aber du bleibst hier.
Der Vorder drückst du gar nicht, Mensch.
Du drückst etwa hier Maximum. Das legt nicht für mich.
I'm not sure there is even a shot to get to shot position.
Willst du das sein?
Gribi not liking this. It's really dangerous. They might even throw this away.
Wie viel siehst du? Halb?
Ja, nicht ganz.
Nicht ganz. Eventuell kannst du hier mit dem Drag rausnehmen für einen. Risiko sehe ich eigentlich keins. Könnt gehen mit dem Drag, dass wir ihn hier rausnehmen, dass der ein Shot ist. 10.
10.
Ja.
Also.
So they're hoping for the drag effect. But they were only calling it 10 takeout, which is not very quick. Now they are opting for a 9. Of course, this being the time measure between the hog lines. So if they hit as much as you can see from this rock, then you might have a shot at removing this. But even if they manage to get around the guard, I'm not certain this would have worked.
So.
Gut, wenn wir dort nicht die Chance geben, auf einen Freeze etwas zu machen, ist gut.
Ja, ist gut. Wir müssen schauen, sie liegen immer ein bisschen gut. Und wir müssen einfach probieren, auf unsere zugunsten von uns. Oh, aber ist nicht schlecht. Qualität ist gut.
So, and that is the first steal of the game. So, and we're back in fourth end action. Very nice come around, gets to the top of the yellow. Again, like in the end before, leaving space in front of it. Really a chance for Michel Gribi.
Entschuldigung?
Nein. 3/4 ist gut, oder nur halb sogar?
Eben nur halb.
Okay. Und hinten 4?
Oder Fall wie lang. Kannst schon 3/4, aber dann muss einfach die Länge wirklich sitzen. Ich würde lieber halb. Ich bin schneller, nicht?
Linie hoch.
Linie.
Achtung, Linie.
Länge ist gut.
Nein.
Länge ist hinten 4.
Nicht.
Eng 8.
Viel Platz.
Got to curl up. Oh, we'll only hit about half of that and roll out a little bit, leaving a little pocket.
Ja, sorry.
So, die ausmachen, dann sind wir super drin.
Dann sind wir dabei. 4 Ende, perfekt.
Ja, das müsste das Ding machen.
Sie
platzieren es einfach gut. Sie spielen nicht unbedingt besser, aber sie platzieren sie besser.
The line looks good. Should be breaking soon. I would have expected a little more curl there. But nevertheless, quite nice a shot.
Meinst du mit die 8?
Sorry?
Mit die 8?
Ja, das Mühe mehr habe ich auch schon gegeben.
Schon gut.
Aber ich denke, es wird gut. Lang für dich schon. Wir haben mehr als genug Platz
Ich habe
gehabt.
vorhin ein paar Mal in die Mitte gespielt.
Gut, Länge. Hinge 4 im Moment.
Was?
Länge gut.
Dranbleiben, Linie ist
Hinge
super.
4.
Zieh ein bisschen. Ja, zieh hart. Länge. Zieh ab.
Hinge 4.
Hard!
Gotta go real hard there to get past the guard.
Go, wechseln, 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 wechseln. Go, go, go.
Curling lots now. Well, certainly this side is a little bit more aggressive than the other one.
Sehr gut.
Could see that.
Super. Schöne Länge.
Ich bin frisch bei Luft. Jetzt hat einer relax.
But I also have the impression that KOR Jang-Lee actually has a quite positive release. So it gives a little bit of an active rotation.
Trickshot 17, Mann. Ich kenne mal so einen, weißt du, so eine Enough.
Aber im Moment immer etwa, das kann nicht 10 Steine im Vierfuß. Nicht mehr zu viel.
Vor allem nicht auf unserer Seite. Das kriegt
Quite an elaborate pre-shot routine there.
einer so vor der 4, so ein bisschen was so sein. Okay, so etwas. Ich kann mal warten.
I hope for him that this never will haunt you if they ever play in timed circumstances, because right now this tournament does not have a time limit,
Ich will glaube ich noch mal warten.
except for the normal playing schedule.
Nein, sie hat dran.
Ich sehe vor der 12 Uhr.
Das meinst du mal aufmachen?
Wenn wir jetzt auf die macht, dann noch einmal den Freeze, oder?
Und der hat das so draufnehmen.
So, and of course the Korean team looking once more to steal here.
Ja, schnell, ne?
Minimum lying shot, probably
Ja,
lying
wenn
second
du
as
ein bisschen
well.
rausnimmst, machst du wenigstens
It's a bit
beide
hard to
Karten,
tell
oder?
from this angle. Yes, I suppose it's second too.
Rio ist hinten drauf, hä?
Finde ich gut, ja.
5-6.
Yes.
Jump! Whoa! Whoa! Jump! Jump!
So looking for a guard clear. Oh wow. Ooh,
Gut.
the guard is still there. Young and Lee still lying shot rock. The situation hasn't changed significantly, really.
Gut so.
The right side of the house is still locked, and now it's the left side open. But I suppose they'll try to close that down now.
Dann bringen wir schon noch raus, irgendwie, Hamisch.
Wie?
Dann bringen wir schon noch irgendwie raus. Siehst du nicht?
Nochmal der gleiche.
Machen wir noch 3 Mal. Nein, immer schon. Nur noch 3 Stück. Nein, noch 10. 10 Chor, oder was?
So another guard. Of course, it's a nice feeling if you can start playing guards. The earlier in the end, the better. as it really tells you you're in the driving seat.
So.
And I think this might actually set up a race takeout there. I think you can get rid of those 2 reds now. You probably lose a yellow or 2.
Kannst du fast nicht zu wenig übernehmen. Also, echt genau gerade, aber umso weniger geht er an. Also, wenn ein bisschen weniger ist, geht er an.
Und so, wenn er da liegt, haben wir noch gleich 2 eigentlich, oder?
Ja, wenn er so schießt und hier gerade brichst, geht er immer noch.
Gut.
Weniger als der 4. Auch eher halb. Lieber halb als der 4.
They're debating the angle on which to hit. I think about half would do the trick. Of course, you don't want to get across the over the face and miss it all by hitting too little of it. Gribi hasn't had too much success this game with his upweight game. So now really hoping to jiggle up the angles a little bit. Big weight there. Good scrub, boom, 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 and that's 2 yellows there. Right in the middle. Great shot, great shot. And look who's in the driver's seat now. This guard just coming up a little too long. This should have been in front of the house, and see, there you go, the opportunity. And they took it. We're looking at a completely new scenario. What looked like a steal now looks very much like at least a deuce. Of course, if Young manages to get to the face of that, maybe even tap it a little bit. She can still cut the damage, but we have seen before that this side is not quite as aggressive, so it won't curl as much. And this is also a little bit heavy-ish, so it will roll open. I suppose it's second shot. But it's definitely movable. Well, really, you can play any weight at it you want. It's almost 100% open, so I think you can play up to backline, even though it doesn't curl too much that well. You might even be able to play a hack at this. So they decide to go for a backhouse takeout to get a maximum curl out of it.
Nee. Ik heb een vertielijn nog zacht.
Ja, we kunnen nog een bisschen wischen, Misch. Komm mal hinten 4, wenn wir wischen, haben wir dann super.
Ah ja.
A little disagreement on the icing there, but I think you want to go a little tight on this as you want to get to the inside.
Oh.
Is genoeg, denk ik.
Wow. Oh, nee.
Hinten 4 is goed.
This does have a chance now. Ooh, unfortunate.
Sorry. Ben je Osta gezegd?
Alright, unfortunate. Combination of being heavy and a little wide. And that's what turns out with it. Well, back and forth this ends, certainly.
Maar ja, jetzt jeder hinten 4 gespielt und immer aus 8 eingegeben. Dann hätte ich lieber das gleiche eingegeben. Also, aber nein, spielen nicht schnell, ist nicht gut, aber ich sage.
Ist gut? Okay, kein Problem.
So, and it is another steal, as we can see here. Game set up the same way as it was before. The previous ends, so
ja, dat is goed. Kannst du beide spielen, ja. Willst du lieber rennen? Nein, jetzt würde ich nicht. Ja, aber jetzt haben wir nicht den Freeze mehr. 3/4 Tap ist gut. Du kannst auch von rechts, wenn du willst. Sehr kurz, Misch.
it is getting a substantial lead here. So, very comfortable, of course. For the Koreans, and this is also not curling enough. Goes to the back four.
So, wie lange sind wir gekommen? Ist möglich.
And just to give you a quick update on what's happening on the other sheets. Especially interesting is a 6 being scored on sheet 7 to place it and to basically decide the game almost. It will be very hard to come back from that. But that's how quickly it can go in mixed doubles. A little slip up and there's a couple in there.
Gut. Wenn der jetzt gut ist, können wir ihn mal aufmachen. Ja. Willst du nur her oder probieren auf den Tab? Tab ist schwierig, hä? Ja, aber. Corner Freeze finde ich super. Ja. Corner Freeze oder sonst Draw ist auch gut, oder? Warte. Warte, Platz. Platz. Wechseln, wechseln. Nochmal Zielline, nicht länger, nicht länger. Warten, wenn es geht. So lange warten, wie es geht. So lange warten, wie es geht. Wir sind noch nie rein. Jetzt kommt gut, kommt gut. Wow, 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 wow.
3/4 und knapp.
So now also an angle debate there. Really, I think you have to play the scoreboard in this very moment and think of how you can get rid of 1 or 2 of those rocks. If you're in the Koreans' position. Because certainly at least the ones at the back 4-foot don't help you very much. It's just a pocket where your opponent can draw to, and right now this red rock really does lie in a good position, yes, behind cover. But the left-hand side yellow seems to be a bit dangerous. So you might want to make a play at that. Or of course go completely defensive and have a play at the guards already. They're not having any of that, they are guarding everything. That is also of course an option. Since it seems the red rock is shot, but there's still a couple of rocks to come, so a lot can happen here. Still 3 yellows to come, so if you start defending too early, too vigorously, you might run into a big end, and there is already 3 yellows in the 4-foot. If there is a lucky punch or a major mistake there, this game could be wide open. But right now it looks a bit one-sided, even though the game I don't think represents really the scoreboard. There's just a couple of minor mistakes that decided. That decided the outcome of them, so it's not like it's a very one-sided game.
Die Frage ist, was ist, wenn wir den hier aufmachen? Nur den. Bringt uns das etwas? Wenn du mit dem Nähen kommst, du durch. Hä? Kannst du aufmachen? Ja, komm, wir probieren. Also gegen Aussetzen, wir spielen sehr viel Göller noch.
So I'm not sure what the call is now. They were debating about clearing the guard that is closest to the house through the gap to give himself some space, but I think that doesn't do very much for you, as your opponent will just basically fill the gap again. So I think you should be aiming to get at least 2 of those center cards if you try and remove them. Preferably the 2 that are in the middle. And yeah, this doesn't help too much, really. So now if you want to be consistent, you should basically just draw up the guard. Now they did make the mistake in the end before that they drew in too far, so that there was a takeout possible. So I would suggest that you stay out of the house with this one. the longer the run here, the better for you if you're in Yang and Kyung Lee's position.
Wenn nicht ganz versteckt ist, ist er auch noch riskant. Double. Wenn das oder der Double dann ein bisschen länger ist.
I mean, the weight does not so much matter, and neither really does the line. But I feel like they're coming in again. So the angle has to be really good. Well, that's also a way of doing it, but judging from here, if you hit the guard nose, you might actually be able to get both reds at least out of the forefoot due to the drag effect. So they're very close. They're very close together. That means if you hit the front red on the left-hand side, the second red will redirect slightly to the right, because it will continue in the direction of original impact. So now I can't really judge from this perspective whether they're completely locked onto each other. That's when it works best. If there's some separation between them, it might also be possible that it does redirect straight back to the yellow. Which would certainly not really help the Swiss team a lot. This doesn't do anything.
Mach's mir mal bequem, hä?
So I think again I quite like the guard, as I still think they are shot rock. And if they are not, then just a slight tap into the pocket would I think be the right call. But I think they are lying shot rock. So just try and throw up a nice guard and let the opponents play the difficult shot, because the guard is certainly a makeable one. And Gribi sitting down there. Of course, it was a long game. It's also the 7th match of the weekend for the two. But you can still see smiles on their faces. That is Very important. Spirits are up.
Swing, 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 swing.
So now this
Nothing.
this doesn't pay off very well for them. And it's again a little too long. So now I'm pretty certain there is an opportunity to remove basically everything. Probably you lose your back yellow as well. But you have a good chance at scoring 2 here, I believe.
Wat je zo? Ja.
Hit it dead on. Maybe a little bit on the inside. Maybe just a fraction of an inch really. And hit it hard. And I'm pretty sure he can spin this one out. So Michel Gribi bring the heat once more. Had a very nice upweight takeout earlier on in the game. So let's see if she can do it again.
Oh. Yep. Yep.
Looks close.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh. Well, would have needed a little bit more energy, I think. And maybe a little more sweeping, so you get even more of an angle. So it's another steal of 1 for the Koreans, and it's adding up. So 5-1 to the likes of Team Yang and Lee.
Take power play.
And now it's power play time. So for those of you who are not familiar with this, once every game, each team has the possibility, except for extra ends, to call a so-called power play. You can do this once you have last rock. And this means that the original setup from center guard to rock at the back forefoot is moved to the side, like you can see it right now, in order to create a little bit more of offense. Because of course, the general rule, most of you will know from classical curling, if you have last rock, you want to get the game out to the sides generally. And if you're not, you want to stick to the middle. Take away as much room as you can. And this was a lovely, lovely soft peel here. Usually it is played the other way around, especially in normal traditional curling where there's 4 players. You can see very often soft peeling is being played, or tick shots, as they're also called, to open up the middle. And now here it's to open up the corner. Very interesting.
Een extra weg dan in. Zo raar. Zou je zeker, Michi? Michi, zou je zeker wegschieten? Mich, zou je zeker wegschieten? Huh? En er is een team wegschieten, zou je zeker ook wegschieten? Het. bisschen mehr über Görle noch. Oder wir können aus. Nein. Hä? Aussen 4. Soll ich immer noch aufstehen? Das ist auch mal ehrlicher Sieg, hä? Ja. Ah, jetzt gehört tuck. Ist auch nicht selbstverständlich heutzutage. Das Gefühl ist eher eng. Dann kannst du ein bisschen ziehen, wenn es geht. Nicht eng. Zieh ein bisschen. Wow.
So now first objective here, I think, is get as many rocks into the house as possible.
Whoa, Achtung, chip, whoa, whoa.
There's a big lead for the opponent, so you need to score a big end now, because if you don't score it in the 6th, it's going to be very unlikely you're going to manage to come back from it at all. So now, of course, also hits are available.
Machst du Mittag? Ich lese. Ja, komm. Ich hoffe, wir stehen nicht mehr auf dem Ring. Dem Team.
So now playing at the center guard. Really clearing it will do the trick. If you can take something along, then that would be even better, but I think that's okay for the moment. Opening the center up. But still there is 3 yellows in the house. Certainly not really a situation you're looking for when you're up by 4.
Aber ja, finde ich auch gut, ja. Grüß Brigge. 2, 3. Maximum 3.
So they're going to replace the guard here. Has to be a good one though, because we saw how close green team was at hitting the guard and something in the house, so yeah, really got to finish that one, but it's gonna turn out just fine. Very well done. So it's probably gonna be the same shot again. For Lee. We'll be playing upweight again.
Hey, gratulieren. Dan kom je nog maar eens in. Say boom, boom, boom. Let me see you say way. Zit er eens? Rustig terug. Rustig terug.
And we do have our first 2 finals in this round, in this draw. 1 quarterfinal is already finished. The Swiss team with Michel Jäggi and Sven-Michel beats the Scottish McCleary team quite convincingly, 8-2. And in the Consolation Cup, we have the Swiss team Rupp Wunderlin playing the also Swiss Easily siblings, and Rupp Wunderlin wins 8-1. So also quite convincing. Guard cleared again. Situation in the house hasn't changed much.
Meter länger als vorhin, nicht bissen. Ja. Ja.
So now what do you do? Where do you go?
Ich fand Bisser geil. Ich kann einfach etwas verlieren, aber gut, ich meine, schießt sie drüber. Ja, sie wird auch wenn wir es 2 machen, was macht sie denn? Mensch. Also komm, machen wir es gleich.
I think I will throw up the exact same shot as you did before, because that will force them. They will probably won't take the risk of playing the promotion takeout, especially since it's not their own rock they're promoting in. So they might actually play a hit and roll on the right hand yellow, or maybe even come around it all. Ooh, and this is curling a lot. This is curling a lot. Now it has to bite, and it just comes up short. Well, that's a big break for the Koreans. Of fairly easy double takeout there. Of course, it's still a deuce setup for Gribi and Gribi, but the problem with it is that the deuce, well, it only gets you this far when you're 4 down. It's going to be a real challenge to catch up. It's looking good. Yeah, gets rid of 2. Doesn't roll bury, but is still very close to the guard, so still a challenge for Michel Gribi to score the deuce. Of course, she'd hate to give up another steal, but this is fairly makeable, so I guess hack weight takeout will do the trick. And they do have a bit of room to play with. Just be aware of that guard. Now nothing sweeping, but this looks fine. Yep, hits and sticks around in the house for 2. So this will ease the situation for them a little. 5-3 after 6.
Hardstil, hä? 6-7 müssen wir schon machen. 4 nehmen wir an, komm.
Well, certainly not an impossible position. I mean, after all, it's mixed doubles, and things can happen very quickly. I mean, if that guard didn't overcurl on the second last shot, then the situation would be a completely different one. And now the power play being called by the Koreans. Well, of course, probably the last time they will ever get the chance to do it in this game.
Immer wieder dran, ich weiß nicht, wo der Geist ist. Oder gleich noch.
So we're looking at the same setup as before. Of course, the stone that is lying behind the guard is also not like in the normal setup where it's in the back 4 foot. This is in front of the tee line, so certainly in a better position. You cannot just easily freeze to it. And now Michel Gribi going for a different approach and just throwing up the center card, not even bothering with the corner. Well, they probably tell themselves, we have to go hard for steals here. It doesn't matter if we give up a couple. If we give up anything, then this game is almost over. So we really have to score here. Now, interestingly enough, this curls a lot. Didn't sweep it. But to be fair, I quite like this shot actually, because the red is still accessible from everywhere. And that's really what you want. Make sure your rocks lie in positions where you can still use them.
Ja, een beetje weiter innen sind wir als da, oder? Vom Eis, Mensch? Ja. Ein bisschen mehr als aussen 4. Nicht schlecht, oder? Mensch, Misch. Timo. Timo, Linie. Hey, hard. 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 Linie is goed. Go hard. Go, 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 go.
And Michel Gribi sweeping hard. And manages to get into the house. Not quite sure position, I don't think. I think the one on the left-hand side is still better. But any rock in the center of your own color is your friend right now. Question just is, how long will it stay there? And I think the Koreans are doing the right thing and really bringing the big weight here. You don't need to score anymore, really. You just need to prevent your opponent from scoring. I think that was quite a decent outcome there. Even though this top 12-foot rock could turn out to be quite dangerous. But you can see they're very capable of using the big weight.
Ha? Das ist gut, was du das machst. Komm mal von da.
It's of course a weapon you don't want to, or you do want to use if you can, if you have it.
Stehst mir im Weg. Mit die 8 finde ich gut. Darf ein bisschen übergehen, ha? Schön voneinander rüsten.
And for all the Swiss viewers, just a little update. Switzerland are playing Germany right now at the Europeans over in St. Gallen. It's a women's draw, and at the very moment it's 2-1 for Germany. They're playing in the 4th end right now. So I think you can watch this on the Swiss television if you have not already switched it on. I think it's on live there. Of course, the whole week St. Gallen will host the European Championships this year, which will be very much a preparation event for many teams for the Olympic Games coming next year. Certainly a good chance to take a look at some of the contenders, not all of them, but some of them. So now just a regular takeout weight to take out this red rock. Maybe roll to the side if you can, that would be nice. Right in front of your own. Or roll buried. Well, this is a bit dangerous because you now basically have a double center guard. A double center guard has a lot of space to work with, a lot of room. So we will see it come around here, most certainly. Will be interesting to see the reaction, especially if this rock ends up not to be perfect. I wonder whether the Korean team will still concentrate on the guards.
Hey, Platz is good.
Or whether they'll follow.
Tip. Ole, tip. Hard. Lengi. Whoa. Tip. Tip. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Comes up a bit heavy, back 4-foot biter. So and there we go. So they say we only have 2 rocks left. If we lock this down now, we're in great shape. Yeah, sure. Even if they make a perfect freeze now and Team Gribi manages to get on top of that to basically freeze for a steal, you're still in quite good shape because you're still 1 up with hammer. And if you make it really perfect, get to the button here, then it's going to be tough to score for Team Gribi at all. And you actually might have a chance at it use. So after a couple of takeouts, there's draw weight being called. Let's see if they can make the adjustment. Not too bad, but doesn't quite curl as much as they would have liked. On the other hand, now there is not much space to draw to, and even if they put it in, even if Michel Gribi manages to get to the button here, it's still accessible from the right-hand side. So probably even the better outcome than actually going around. Because there's not much left for the Swiss team to do right now. And to come around and be shot, if you play the hit and roll, I think you will always jam on the side and you will not be really in a valid scoring position either. And I think you have to go hard for the steal here. Or of course, you can try and give up 1 and have a big end in the next one, but judging from the performance so far, the slip-ups would have to be major on the Korean side, and you can hardly ever count on major slip-ups. You don't want to either. At this level, you always expect your opponents to make the shots.
Kom zo kaufen. Op linie mush. Linie mush. Hard.
So really gotta go there. This needs to get past this top red one. And also needs to be shot. Otherwise it looks a bit dire. Where will it end? Will it have enough power to get there? It'll just come up light. But also now there is not a lot of space to work with for the Koreans.
Ja. Ik zei me zo nog aan. Ik zei me zo nog aan.
So here Young will be trying to find the forefoot there. Not much space and actually quite a dangerous shot if you ever end up hitting the top 12 yellow. Who knows what can happen. Even though the angles are still in your favor, so you probably will not push it shot rock, but you would really like to score 2 here. Going hard at it. Ooh, does wreck. And will not be enough. So it's just a single. But then again, 6-3 up is quite a comfortable lead. Mind you, there's only 6 rocks being played, or 5 rocks being played, and the 6th one is already positioned. So it's all in now. All in now for Team Gribi of Switzerland. So now the rink is emptying as more games have come to a close. There's only 3 games going on right now still. And this has been a beautiful opening for Hye Young. Perfectly on the button. Michel Gribi sitting in a hack. So now the game is in the middle and they will have to create something out of that. Also, there's a very nice come around. Well done there. I hope these nice shots do not come too late. So first goal for the Swiss team certainly accomplished, and that is to get the rocks into play. Cluster them together, get some angles on. Now they will have to try and move them a little bit, jiggle them around tiny bit. This doesn't quite curl as much as KOR Jang-Lee would have liked. And again, this side seems to be just a little bit more straight than the other. So now, in case you're wondering why we cannot hear the players anymore, I'm sorry, we do have a slight technical issue. We hope we can fix that for the next game. So I'm really wondering how the Swiss team, curling out of Biel Touring Curling Club, will be able to provoke mistakes to score 3 here to save themselves into an extra end. pushing it straight back. Not too much happening there. Jiggling the angles a little bit. On the bright side, one can say now there is an opportunity again to get those red rocks out of the forfeit, I would think, even though it's still a very complicated version. So you will have to play a double run to move both red rocks, but better than it was before, where there was absolutely no way of really getting in there with multiple stones. So now the Koreans playing the scoreboard. Big weight thrown, get rid of at least something. Oh wow. And rolls right on top of that. That takes away one shot, which is of course helping. If you 3 up, every single rock counts. Well, played pretty close to what I was expecting, really, but didn't get the turnout they would have liked to. Now it's basically so now they can just hit it again and get rid of those rocks. So what you want to do here is hit it very thinly. I think on the left hand side is probably best. Actually, it might even not matter as the back one is going anyway. And your opponents will be run out of stones. That does it. And there's the handshake. No more possibility to score 3. So that's the end of the game right here. The Korean team, Jang and Lee, moves on to the semi-final, and so do the Swiss team, Perret-Rios, the Russian team of Bryzgolova-Krusheinitckii, and Sven-Michel and Michel Jäggi. Well, we will be back with this broadcast at about 10:45. Make sure you tune in again. My name is Bastianis. I was your commentator for this morning. Thanks for tuning in, and see you later. Bye.